Story 1. Security guard for building site next to my apartment saved a parking space for herself with traffic cones. I lived in an apartment block in University City in Philadelphia. Next door was a block of condominiums that was under construction. I got home late one night and found that the only parking spot on the street had traffic cones in it. I knew the parking regulations really well, and saving a spot by putting something in it was 100% illegal. If you wanted to legally reserve a spot, there was an application process, and if you got approved, you were given an official temporary no parking sign. I had actually done that when I moved into the building so I'd have a place to park the U-Haul I'd rented. I got out of my car, tossed the cones onto the sidewalk, and parallel parked. As I was getting out of my car, a woman stormed over and started yelling at me.
Oh,
It's not that hard to. She was wearing blue Dickies and a polo shirt with a bad-shaped patch from a security company. She insisted that I wasn't allowed to move the cones, and I had to find somewhere else to park. I asked her if she was a cop, and she said, "I am with the police." I said, "I wasn't asking who you're ducking, I was asking if you are a city, county, state or federal law enforcement officer." She dodged the question again insisting that she had the legal authority to make me move my car. She said the space was reserved because they needed it for security vehicles for the building site. I said, if there's no parking sign, then the spot is first come / first served. I pointed to my disabled parking placard with my cane and said I clearly needed the spot more than she did. She said, "I have one of those, too." I said, "I can see why, but I'm physically handicapped." I honestly thought she was going to take a swing at me. To be honest, I was kind of hoping she would. I said, "Look, I don't have time for this shite. I'm going inside. If you're thinking about ducking with my car, keep in mind that I know where you work, and the bodega over there has security cameras." I called the company she worked for the next day and told them about it, but I don't know if anything happened. I never saw her in my neighborhood again, though. What's up guys? If you enjoy this video, subscribe to my channel for more daily Reddit content. Story 2. Close your bank account? Yes sir. First post here, please be kind. So this happened a few years ago, but I love telling this story. Short background, I work at a local credit union, similar to a bank, in back office support. Most of my direct customer contact is through the online chat and message systems. I have never worked in a branch. So one day, I get a message from this dude demanding to know where his new debit card is. Not asking. Demanding. I check and let him know that it was mailed about 2 weeks ago, and he should have it by now, but I would be happy to mail him a new one, or he could come into a branch and we could print him a new one on the spot. He asks to have one mailed, I verify his address, he was less than a 10-minute walk from one of our branches, and maybe a 5-minute drive, but whatever, you wanna wait for the mail, be my guest, and mail him a new card, thinking that was the end of it. Nope. A week later, he messages back enraged that he has not gotten his card yet. I let him know it take about 5 to 10 business days, they are sent regular mail, we have no tracking on them, etc., and he is welcome to come into a branch to get one printed right now if he would like. He was not a fan of that. Tells me that I personally have caused him to get fees, looks at the fees, they have nothing to do with the card, they are all online gambling sites linked directly to his account and routing number, and that I need to refund all $200 plus fees. This would be in addition to the $100 plus we have already refunded for the year. Here is the thing, if you ask me nicely, I will probably move heaven and earth to get fees refunded, even if we have already refunded the max limit for you that year. We are all human, I get it, and I do feel that some fees charged are stupid and morally objectionable. If you demand I refund you fees? The odds of those getting refunded just dropped by like 99%. So I tell him that I will not be refunding his fees, and he cusses me out. Always makes me laugh when I get cussed over chat and messages cause someone took the time to type that ish out and capitalize it, and tells me to just effing close his account then if I refuse to help him. So there are a few things that we need to send a request to close an account. The account needs to be positive, his was, but barely, have no loans on it, including credit cards, not have a balance of over a certain amount, no danger there, and we need their address verified, which he had done when I sent him a new card. So I say, I am sorry to see you go, but I understand that you need to do what is best for you financially, and I send the request to close his account and then I wait. A week or so later, I get a call from a teller at a branch. They have this gentleman in front of them outraged that his account was closed and asking what happened. I let the teller know that he sent a profane request to close the account, so I sent the request to our back office to be processed. She relays this, and he starting calling me a liar, telling the teller that he never cussed at me and he for sure never asked to close the account. Not sure if he thought that we just delete messages and have no records? Anyway, I take screenshots of our messages and send them over to the teller and listen as she shows him them on her computer. I can hear her trying not to laugh as he goes, "Oh. Well. Yes." And she thanks me and ends the call. Later, she messaged me telling me that he apologized for cussing and we reopened his accounts and that she has never had to stifle laughter that hard before. TLDR, rude customer demands I close his account after I want refund fees for him, is shocked when I do it. Story 3. Don't test me, I have a smart watch with an alarm function. I once worked at Pets at Home in southern England. I loved working with the animals, and the other worker bees like myself were awesome. One of the managers there though was a mosquito in human form. Let's call her Abby. Now I would catch a bus to and from work that got me close enough to work that I would get there with a few minutes to spare. It was either that or I had to get a bus that was an hour earlier, which meant I would be waiting around for a long time, not getting paid, for no reason. One day, the bus is 20 minutes late. It got to the point where I started walking to work, knowing I'd be late, but I phoned ahead to let them know the situation. Abby told me I'd better get there on time. I don't know what she expected me to do, so I ran. Now I have literally zero stamina in me. I'm not obese or anything, but I've never been good at running. If there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm dying first. But I ran all the way to work. My lungs were on fire when I got there. Abby was in the office doing the usual thing she did each day, which was sitting on her lazy butt, browsing YouTube on the computer in the back office, taking occasional breaks to make the people doing actual work feel bad for taking a bathroom break. She gave me hell for being 2 minutes late and actually changed my online rota shift start time to 2 minutes later than it was before. I got an instant update on my phone of this bish was being petty enough to dock me 2 minutes pay. I was beyond pissed. Abby had a habit of keeping the workers late for all sorts of unfair and unpaid reasons, so I made it my mission every single day to set an alarm on my smart watch for the exact minute my shift would end. I would then leave whatever I was doing, whether I was on the tills, building cages, or restocking the shelves, head straight to the office to grab my things and head home. The number of times my manager would object to my leaving on time, that sounds ridiculous, and I would say in the most sarcastic tone I could that I was leaving because I'm not getting paid for the minutes I stay over time, I'm just sticking exactly to the schedule. I kept this up until the day I left. That evening I was on the closing shift alone with Abby and one other worker bee. This was a rare occasion where Abby was actually helping us do the unpacking before lockup for some reason. My fellow worker knew I was leaving exactly on time as I'd been doing it for months by then, and lots of others had been following my example, so when the clock struck, we said we were heading out. Again, Abby opposed and insisted we couldn't leave without helping unpack. She probably only really cared this time because she was actually doing work and would be left to do it alone so she could lock up, to which I said something along the lines of, "You literally docked me 2 minutes pay once because I was late once." I stopped caring after that day. This is all on you, we are just sticking to the schedule. Oh man. It was so beautiful and vindicating to say that and know she couldn't do a damn thing about it. Screw you, Abby. What's up everyone? If you like this video, hit the subscribe button now. Subscribe for daily Reddit stories.